VMW VM Wealth Management, your money moves forward, not aimlessly, not recklessly, but with intention. Whether you're just starting out, accelerating toward a goal, or steering into legacy. Professionally managed, driven by performance. Put your money in motion. VM Wealth Management. Transform your everyday.
Your money should be multitasking for you. With VM Wealth's unit trust portfolios, your money works harder, responding to the markets and producing gains that have consistently beaten projections for over a decade. With our portfolios, your money works smarter, adjusting and pivoting based on research and data analysis from an award-winning team, all while you do whatever you want. Instead of just investing, invest with VM Wealth. Transformation starts here. Visit transform.myvmgroup.com. Let's go.
Welcome to VM Wealth Client Portal. Here's how it works. Step 1. Navigate to the VMWM Client Portal registration page and select Register Here to begin the process. Step 2. Complete the registration by entering the relevant information in the fields requested. Step 3. Once the relevant fields have been completed, review and accept terms and conditions. Select the Register button to submit the information entered. An email will be sent to the indemnified email address on file at VM Wealth. Step 4. Access email and retrieve the email vmwealth-no-reply at myvmgroup.com to verify the email address and complete the registration process. Step 5. Click on the link in the email to validate your email address. The client will be redirected to the VM Wealth Client Portal. Step 6. Click on Back to sign in to gain access to the portal. Register now.
Investment vehicles are not created equal. Some are built for speed, others for safety. But high performance, that takes intelligence, precision, strategy, purpose. With VMW VM Wealth Management, your money moves forward, not aimlessly, not recklessly, but with intention. Whether you're just starting out, accelerating toward a goal, or steering into legacy. Professionally managed, driven by performance. Put your money in motion. VM Wealth Management. Transform your everyday.
Your money should be multitasking for you. With VM Wealth's unit trust portfolios, your money works harder, responding to the markets and producing gains that have consistently beaten projections for over a decade. With our portfolios, your money works smarter, adjusting and pivoting based on research and data analysis from an award-winning team, all while you do whatever you want. Instead of just investing, invest with VM Wealth. Transformation starts here. Visit transform.myvmgroup.com. Let's go.
Welcome to VM Wealth Client Portal. Here's how it works. Step 1. Navigate to the VMWM Client Portal registration page and select Register Here to begin the process. Step 2. Complete the registration by entering the relevant information in the fields requested. Step 3. Once the relevant fields have been completed, review and accept terms and conditions. Select the Register button to submit the information entered. An email will be sent to the indemnified email address on file at VM Wealth. Step 4. Access email and retrieve the email vmwealth-no-reply at myvmgroup.com to verify the email address and complete the registration process. Step 5. Click on the link in the email to validate your email address. The client will be redirected to the VM Wealth Client Portal. Step 6. Click on Back to sign in to gain access to the portal. Register now.
Investment vehicles are not created equal. Some are built for speed, others for safety. But high performance, that takes intelligence, precision, strategy, purpose. With VMW VM Wealth Management, your money moves forward, not aimlessly, not recklessly, but with intention. Whether you're just starting out, accelerating toward a goal, or steering into legacy. Professionally managed, driven by performance. Put your money in motion. VM Wealth Management. Transform your everyday.
Your money should be multitasking for you. With VM Wealth's unit trust portfolios, your money works harder, responding to the markets and producing gains that have consistently beaten projections for over a decade. With our portfolios, your money works smarter, adjusting and pivoting based on research and data analysis from an award-winning team, all while you do whatever you want. Instead of just investing, invest with VM Wealth. Transformation starts here. Visit transform.myvmgroup.com. Let's go.
Welcome to VM Wealth Client Portal. Here's how it works. Step 1. Navigate to the VMWM Client Portal registration page and select Register Here to begin the process. Step 2. Complete the registration by entering the relevant information in the fields requested. Step 3. Once the relevant fields have been completed, review and accept terms and conditions. Select the Register button to submit the information entered. An email will be sent to the indemnified email address on file at VM Wealth. Step 4. Access email and retrieve the email vmwealth-no-reply at myvmgroup.com to verify the email address and complete the registration process. Step 5. Click on the link in the email to validate your email address. The client will be redirected to the VM Wealth Client Portal. Step 6. Click on Back to sign in to gain access to the portal. Register now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of VM Investments Limited, I'd like to warmly welcome you to our half-year 2025 investor briefing. To those of you who are joining us across our digital channels on YouTube and LinkedIn, welcome. I am Mikhail MacLeod. I manage the legal, compliance, and investor relations portfolio here at VM Investments Limited. This briefing is an opportunity for us to share with you our financial performance for the first half of the year, provide some updates on key initiatives, and also for us to listen and respond directly to you, to your queries and concerns. Accountability, transparency, and engagement with you are valued stakeholders. To begin, I'd like to invite our CEO, Mr. Rezworth Burchenson, to deliver the CEO's report. Rezworth Burchenson.
Thanks very much, Mikhail. Good afternoon, one and all. Certainly, we welcome all our shareholders, members of the analyst community, member of the media to this investor briefing. Welcome my fellow executives, and I know that other stakeholders, perhaps members of the board, perhaps members of the VMG executive team, perhaps our regulators may be joining, so certainly welcome. I also want to welcome in the room, we can't see the person, is Mr. Brian Fraser, Deputy CEO, and we have our Joy, who is from one of our PE investments, so welcome Joy, good to have you here. Okay, so let's get into the investor briefing. As Mikhail said before, we're going to talk about our strategies, how we're executing on the results, how we're faring up for the end of the year, how we're anchoring the strategy going forward. Okay, so I took a snip of 2 slides that I delivered to our AGM, just reinforcing the vision of VMIL. I just want to reiterate that we want to be a premier Caribbean-based investment company, creating and preserving wealth for investors globally. So that's the holy grail, or that's the purpose of the organization. And then we have the mission, certainly want to empower our clients to achieve financial well-being, and then those are anchored some very key core values, focus on our members, our clients, ensuring that in all things we do, we act with utmost integrity, that teamwork is a dream work, that we want to bring innovation to the regional space in terms of our product offerings. I'm going to speak a bit more about some exciting plans we have for our asset management platform, and certainly we want always be committed to excellence. So these are the things that I tell my staff members on your way to work. Before you enter the building, put on these 5 things, enter, and let's ensure that we drive towards the vision of the organization. The corporate structure of VM Group and certainly VMIL is important so that we can understand the structure of VMIL. How I look at it is VMIL is an investment holding company. Within VMIL, we have a wealth management platform, which certainly contributes most of the revenue. Secondly, we have a private equity platform. And as you can see on the screen, we have investments in Coalbush, Kingston Properties, Home Choice, and there are lots more that we have in the pipeline for later in the year. I want to pull out Kingston Properties, which is an associated company, which is a regional, now expanding to the United Kingdom real estate platform. Within VMIL also, we have a trading portfolio where we trade primarily equities. So the business is a wealth management platform. The business is a public equity platform in Kingston Properties and other shares that we trade. Kingston Property, not so much. And then the last platform is a private equity platform. So I just want to understand that when we speak about VMIL, you have to understand the key business drivers that we currently are pushing forward. Certainly, VM Wealth Management contributes more to the overall income of the enterprise, but that doesn't mean we don't have plans to have a much more balanced portfolio holdings, all contributing to the revenues and net part of the organization. So it's very important for me to kind of set that context. What are some of the things that we are focused on? And I certainly would have delivered same at the annual general meeting. We want to accelerate our asset management platform. By regional expansion, we have gone to Barbados, but we certainly will not stop there. We have plans to form a real estate development fund. That's going to be very exciting when it's launched. We also want to ensure that we build out our digital platform, right? Our digital platform is towards ensuring that we build operational efficiency and that in our wealth management business that we bring self-serve. Self-serve is primarily to ensure that we deliver an amazing service to our customers. We have a subset of our customers that really want to ensure that they get seamless service. They go on to execute a trade and they move on. And we do have another subset who certainly want a lot more intimate investment offerings. And then another key driver for this business is our private equity platform. And it's important in the Jamaican context and also in the regional context. So I read recently the Jamaican Vision 2030. It says a place to certainly to live, work,
raise,
place of choice. The growth that the future of Jamaica is going to be determined by the growth and development of our SME businesses, right? So we want to ensure that, much like how VM Group or VMBS was formed in 1878, we're trying to solve the issue of home ownership. VMIL certainly wants to ensure that we contribute to the next significant leg of the regional development by providing businesses with capital for them to grow and expand. I think that if more capital is provided with the requisite support, we're going to see lots more interesting developments in the Caribbean. So our asset management platform that we currently have is comprised of private portfolio management. That's doing very well. We have our unit trust funds. We have a number of funds. I mean, a number of them are market leading. I may give a plug to say our property portfolio has been the top performing fund for quite a number of years, currently generating 12-month returns, last 12 months of close to 15%. Not many of us can look on our portfolio and identify an asset within that portfolio generating a return of 15%. So I give a plug for the asset management team in terms of their real estate portfolio. And then we have a fund management platform in Barbados. Small at the moment, but we certainly are very ambitious in terms of how we grow that platform across the Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Then, what are the trends that are emerging in the Jamaican landscape? Digital assets is an emerging trend. People, when I say digital assets, person may mention cryptocurrency. Now, that's not necessarily so. It's a much wider thing than just cryptocurrency. So we want to play a role. That's the next evolution of the asset management space. Encourage persons who are interested to go out and do your research. And then there's a need for alternative investments in the Caribbean. When you look across the length and breadth of the Caribbean, the level of infrastructure requirements, alternative investments will play a role in bridging that gap, and certainly VMIL, supported by the VM Group, certainly we want to play that role. So those are two opportunities that we want to capitalize on in the medium term. What are some of the key achievements for the first half of 2025? Certainly we continue to do very well on our equity trading platform. Our private equity platform is doing well. We've entered in some relationships with a number of institutions. And then also, the key of any organization is ensuring that we have strong governance and also that we are contributing to sustainability. And those are some key achievements for 2025. Our digital transformation is making lots of inroads, and Alison Mays, when she gets up to speak, will speak the same. We continue to build market leadership in terms of some of the transactions that we've executed. We have executed one of, I would say, the third largest transaction in the market in 2025 when we did our bond IPO, very successful. And then continue to build out our PE platform. So we all know that the macro environment is interesting. So while the macro numbers are heading in the right direction, GDP growth, current account deficit, fiscal numbers, inflation, we're seeing the economic numbers heading in the right direction. Nonetheless, the investment markets have been muted. Very flat equity market. I would say a very soft capital market. Bond trading not as exciting as pre-COVID. So there is that transmission to be made between a robust macro environment and investment market. Nonetheless, we're always bullish on Jamaica. We're always bullish on the Caribbean. We believe that when we entered 2025, our expectation was that we'd have a much more accommodative monetary environment. That wasn't so. But recent pronouncements locally and internationally is leading us to believe that the second half of the year, last quarter, heading into 2026 will be a bit more exciting. But I say that cautiously optimistic because there are some always risks that we have to mitigate. We have geopolitical considerations that we have to pay close attention to. At this point in time, I'm going to hand to Mr. Stuart Andrade, who's going to take us through the financial performance of VMIL at this point in time. Over to you, Stuart.
Thank you very much, Chris. So as our CEO actually mentioned about the fact of the performance of the business being sorry, some technical difficulties. All right. So one of the things that just piggybacking on something that Rez actually said, the capital markets being muted, and the equity market actually being flat. One thing that's gone well for us, performed well is the our net interest income that has continued to outperform since the beginning of the year, and we expect that to actually continue throughout the rest of the year. Our asset management has been consistent in terms of actually giving consistent revenues. That has given us a 2% year-over-year increase, and we're very proud of it. And we do expect that to actually increase as the quarter, remaining months of the year continues. There are actually big plans for the asset management, as was said in our AGM meeting, and we do think that that is going to bear fruit in terms of the numbers going forward. Our revenue and partnership Q2 revenue reached 653 million, and this was boosted by a 43% rise in fees and commission private equity part. Our strategic challenges and focus, we would have been facing market headwinds, is actually on this. Are you hearing me better? Sorry about the technical difficulties. So VML is actually focused on discipline, investments, risk management, regional expansion, and digital transformation. We're also focused on regional expansion and digital transformation, as we spoke about. In terms of the revenue and growth, consolidated revenue was $1.3 billion in H1 2025. And you would have heard me spoke about in the AGM that in 2024 would have had a significant windfall of a one-off gain from the sale of a Caroland, 4 billion. So without this one-off gain, would have still been behind, but at the same time, it would have actually netted a 30% growth in terms of revenue. And so that we're very proud of that where that is concerned. Profit and loss overview, then we have a net loss at H1 of 2025 at $39 million. And this is in contrast to the 533 we already spoke about, the one-off gain. But it also reflects some of the challenges that Rez would have spoken about in terms of the capital and trading markets. In terms of our capital and efficiency ratios, our capital to total assets is actually above the minimum ratio, and we continue to monitor it actively. And while we have increased our efficiency ratio, and we're looking towards initiatives in actually reducing that. So our performance, we spoke about NII continuing to outperform. Our net fees and commission actually did well. We were down on trading gains, and that was actually, we actually spoke about that as a result of a Caroline. And when you look at our total revenue, it was actually slightly down in comparison to prior year. Our net part is actually low, and we spoke about that as to the reasons why. Right, so that I'll just hand over to as he continues.
Testing. Okay. Thank you, Stuart. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. So I'll be providing you with an update on a number of our operational initiatives that we've been implementing to increase our client experience, our client service, and to improve our operating efficiency. Stuart and Rez just spoke about our operating efficiency and our ratios, and a number of our digital transformation initiatives are actually geared at improving those ratios. So in terms of our client base, I want to recognize the sales and client relations team for the extraordinary work that they've done to increase our client base by 11% over prior year. So that is a tremendous feat, especially in this environment that was just described by Rez, the challenges that are being faced. In terms of our digital migration, I spoke about this in the AGM that we are really pushing to have our clients be able to leverage our digital channels so that we can implement more of a self-service based model. A number of the transactions that clients will walk in or call in to do can be done through our digital platforms. And so we have been trying to get our clients migrated to these platforms. One is our client portal, the other is our IPO Edge platform. And so for our client portal, we've actually increased our client migration by 46% over prior year. And in terms of usage, I just want to pull out here that we've achieved an 80% increase in the number of requests that are being pushed through our channels, which speaks to the success of our digital migration program. So additionally, we've listened, we've taken the feedback from our clients, and you may be wondering why this is a VMIL presentation, but I'm speaking about the retail clients. So as mentioned, based on the structure of the VMIL group, VM Wealth Management Limited, the brokerage arm and the retail arm, provides the greater share of the revenues for VMIL. So the operating revenues and the operating efficiency of VM Wealth Management Limited is very important to the VMIL group. And so we have to get that right. So we have heard from the clients of VMIL, VM Wealth Management Limited. We have about 15,000 active clients right now. And they've said we needed to increase our levels of engagement with them. And so obviously, the most efficient way to do that is through digital channels. So we're kicking off a financial literacy series, which starts this week, which will see a weekly newsletter going out to our clients so that we can improve, just their financial education and their ability to manage their financial affairs better. We also currently send out monthly newsletters, which provide quite a range of recommendations for products, services, tips, and just information about the environment in which we are operating in. We also do have a number of clients with, I want to say, specialized needs based on the assets that they hold that we send specific content to on a monthly basis. So that is something that we currently do. And then in terms of improving our clients' ability to use our digital platforms, we will be launching some tutorial videos and making them available on our digital channels. Additionally, we currently survey our client base every 90 days, and we believe that that's not enough for us to get feedback in a timely manner and be able to respond to the feedback in a timely manner. So we'll be increasing that touch point, the frequency with which we get feedback from our clients so that we can improve the speed at which we resolve our clients' concerns. It could be, basic queries, whatever it is. We are able to listen more frequently when we execute those surveys at a faster pace. So that is something that we have in train. We've also heard from our clients that even though when a client request comes in and there's an acknowledgement that your request has been sent, and when the request is completed, there's an acknowledgement that the request is completed, there's a gap in between. So our clients are saying to us, we want to know where our transactions are in the process. So that is something that the team is currently working on. And then we have recognized also that our clients' needs are changing over time. So you may come on board with us and you are a passive investor. Over time, you may become a more aggressive investor, or it could be the reverse. We are introducing a client risk profiling platform that will allow us to consistently and continuously evaluate our clients' risk tolerance so that we can make adjustments to their portfolio as they continue with their journey with us. And then we also recognize that our member engagement center, which is our call center, is one of the first points of contacts that people, in terms of how people reach out to us. And we believe that we can improve the quality of service that is offered there by increasing the level of knowledge of our call center agents to be able to serve our clients through that channel. So ultimately what we're looking at is improving our client satisfaction and improving our client retention at VM Wealth Management Limited. And then finally, for me, in terms of digital transformation, it's twofold. So we have major technology initiatives that are underway. So one of which is our core investment management system upgrade, which is scheduled to be completed in another few weeks. This project has been going on for over a year and we're nearing the end, so we're happy about that. The objective of this upgrade is to enable us to be on a more current version of the system, but be able to leverage a number of features that the new system will provide to us. We also, as mentioned in the AGM, have completed the development of our online onboarding platform that will allow clients to be able to onboard themselves wherever they are globally. And so we're still awaiting the regulatory approval before we can launch that fully. Our IPO Edge platform, as Rez mentioned, we have a number of exciting offers that are coming between now and the end of the year. And this is a platform that will primarily be used to access those offers. And so we're making enhancements to that platform so that it becomes more user friendly and we can divert from manual processing of transaction applications. And then finally, under the major technology projects, we are and continue to work on onboarding our Barbados clients in a fulsome way. So although they're now getting their statements through our current investment management system, as mentioned in the AGM, we want to make sure that the clients are able to access their statements and their portfolios on our client management system, and that is something that we're actively working on. So that's the first pillar. The second pillar is our transformation office, which was mentioned earlier. So the transformation office that we've set up is meant to improve our operating efficiency. So the ultimate objective of this office is to work on our internal processes so that we can automate them, streamline them, and make them faster so that we can serve our clients in a faster way. We've executed quite a number of initiatives year to date within that office. So our dividends and coupons processing, clients are now able to access their dividends and coupons faster than they previously were. A number of service requests which come in through our online portal are also automated. So the turnaround time and the transaction processing time has actually improved for those. We're currently upgrading our client statements to add new features and information for our clients to be able to access. And then we have a series of internal improvements that we're working through to be able to serve our clients in a better way. What are we targeting? So we're targeting an improvement in service levels. We're actually at about 94% of our SLAs, meaning that 94% of all transactions are processed within the service level agreement, which is a great achievement, and it's a 2% improvement over prior year. We're reducing the manual tasks within the organization so that we can better leverage our team members' skills so that they can do more value-added activities. And then ultimately, we should see an improvement in the bottom line from an operational efficiency perspective. So that concludes my presentation, and that provides an update on what we've been doing internally for VM Wealth Management Limited. I'll hand back over to Rez.
Thank you very much, Alison. Thank you very much, Stuart. Let me just close with some remarks. So Stuart spoke to the performance of the organization for the first half of the year. I'm sure that notwithstanding the robust growth in some revenue lines, we're navigating some headwinds. Nonetheless, I think we're very optimistic around our financial performance for 2025, going into 2026. What are we focused on? Certainly, we have a very strong pipeline across all the requisite platforms that we have to execute on. To give an example, in VM Wealth Management, there are 4 main drivers: asset management, treasury, capital markets, and trading. Some exciting developments are unfolding in the asset management space. Similarly, the financial performance for the first 6 months in the Treasury Department, we expect to continue for the second half of the year. For the capital markets team, we do have some exciting transactions. I don't think I can disclose the names, but it's going to be very exciting for the team for going into the second half of the last half of the year. And then the trading team, very diligent trading team, call themselves global trading team that I know that can man for man can stand to a Goldman Sachs trader. So, we expect great things from the team for the second half of the year. The other platform we have is our PE platform. And we do have a interesting pipeline that we are aiming to close. And I'm quite sure we'll keep the public updated on same. And then, our real estate platform, which is Kingston Properties, listed company, they have disclosed that they have entered the United Kingdom with some very exciting structures. We expect that growth coupled with diversification to continue. I encourage persons to just double check the ROE for Kingston Properties. It's greater than 10% in US dollar terms. So obviously, Kingston Properties having a very good year. Our PE platform also having a very good year in VM Wealth Management, navigating the headwinds, but we're expecting a strong into 2025. Based on our financial performance to date, obviously we have to be more conscious of costs. So one of our strategy is certainly our own, tight cost management, and as Alice said before, driving the efficiency improvements. And then whatever that will come to the fore, one being Barbados, certainly we are executing on the same. So we're expecting, notwithstanding a muted first half, the team is very much determined. I want to thank members of the team for their determination for the first half of the year. But I think that we are more determined around putting in a very good performance for the second half of the year. And at this point, I'm going to hand back to the moderator for some questions.
Thank you, Rez. Thank you to all our presenters. Well, you've heard from our leaders. We'll now open the floor for your questions. I'm seeing a question coming in. Before I go to that question, please, if you're joining us on YouTube or LinkedIn, feel free to place your questions in the chat and we will get to them. The question is from Tavares. How is VM Investments Limited taking advantage of the demand for margin loans? Rez?
Okay, thank you very much. Great question. So we do have a strong margin loan portfolio. We've had some challenges over the years, as evidence when you look at our financial statements for 2024, based on the governance within the group. We sort of took a look at our policies, and I think that we have updated same to make it more robust. And then in addition to that, Alison would have mentioned the fact that we have a new margin loan tool to help us with our administration. The demand for margin loan isn't as strong as we would like. Our experience is that the demand for margin loan gets very strong when the equity markets is on an upward trajectory. Nonetheless, I think we're in this space, holding our own. There's a pricing matter that we're working out, just based on our cost of funds. But we believe that there is more to a margin loan client taking also vis-a-vis others. For example, based on service, also based on speed of execution. So I think that heading into 2026, we're expecting some growth in our margin loan portfolio.
Thank you, Rez. That was quite succinct. And with that, we'll take a short break and return to answer your questions in just a few minutes.
Are not created equal. Some are built for speed, others for safety. But high performance, that takes intelligence, precision, strategy, purpose. With VMW, VM Wealth Management, your money moves forward, not aimlessly, not recklessly, but with intention. Whether you're just starting out, accelerating toward a goal, or steering into legacy. Professionally managed, driven by performance. Put your money in motion. VM Wealth Management. Transform your everyday.
Your money should be multitasking for you. With VM Wealth's unit trust portfolios, your money works harder, responding to the markets and producing gains that have consistently beaten projections for over a decade. With our portfolios, your money works smarter, adjusting and pivoting based on research and data analysis from an award-winning team, all while you do whatever you want. Instead of just investing, invest with VM Wealth. Transformation starts here. Visit transform.myvmgroup.com. Let's go.
Investment vehicles are not created equal. Some are built for speed, others for safety. But high performance, that takes intelligence, precision, strategy, purpose. With VMW, VM Wealth Management, your money moves forward, not aimlessly, not recklessly, but with intention. Whether you're just starting out, accelerating toward a goal, or steering into legacy. Professionally managed, driven by performance. Put your money in motion. VM Wealth Management. Transform your everyday.
Your money should be multitasking for you. With VM Wealth's unit trust portfolios, your money works harder, responding to the markets and producing gains that have consistently beaten projections for over a decade. With our portfolios, your money works smarter, adjusting and pivoting based on research and data analysis from an award-winning team, all while you do whatever you want. Instead of just investing, invest with VM Wealth. Transformation starts here. Visit transform.myvmgroup.com. Let's go.
Investment vehicles are not created equal. Some are built for speed, others for safety. But high performance, that takes intelligence, precision, strategy, purpose. With VMW, VM Wealth Management, your money moves forward, not aimlessly, not recklessly, but with intention. Whether you're just starting out, accelerating toward a goal, or steering into legacy. Professionally managed, driven by performance. Put your money in motion. VM Wealth Management. Transform your everyday.
Your money should be multitasking for you. With VM Wealth's unit trust portfolios, your money works harder, responding to the markets and producing gains that have consistently beaten projections for over a decade. With our portfolios, your money works smarter, adjusting and pivoting based on research and data analysis from an award-winning team, all while you do whatever you want. Instead of just investing, invest with VM Wealth. Transformation starts here. Visit transform.myvmgroup.com. Let's go.
Investment vehicles are not created equal. Some are built for speed, others for safety. But high performance, that takes intelligence, precision, strategy, purpose. With VMW, VM Wealth Management, your money moves forward, not aimlessly, not recklessly, but with intention. Whether you're just starting out, accelerating toward a goal, or steering into legacy. Professionally managed, driven by performance. Put your money in motion. VM Wealth Management. Transform your everyday.
Your money should be multitasking for you. With VM Wealth's unit trust portfolios, your money works harder, responding to the markets and producing gains that have consistently beaten projections for over a decade. With our portfolios, your money works smarter, adjusting and pivoting based on research and data analysis from an award-winning team, all while you do whatever you want. Instead of just investing, invest with VM Wealth. Transformation starts here. Visit transform.myvmgroup.com. Let's go.
Investment vehicles are not created equal. Some are built for speed, others for safety. But high performance, that takes intelligence, precision, strategy, purpose. With VMW, VM Wealth Management, your money moves forward, not aimlessly, not recklessly, but with intention. Whether you're just starting out, accelerating toward a goal, or steering into legacy.
Your money
questions. Our next question is from Jackie. Markets still remain uncertain. Can you talk some more about VM Investments managing risk for the rest of the year? How is VM managing risks?
Okay, great question. So fortunately, we are part of the wider VM group, and part of the group we have a very, what I'd call a robust enterprise risk management framework. So certainly, it starts with identifying the top risks in the organization. What are the risks in VMIL, in VM Wealth, and there's robust reporting on same. We have a list of those risks are monitored. We have to report to the management team, the executive team, the subcommittee of the board, and even a regulator at some stated frequency. So I think that the framework that we have across embedded in the organization is serving us well to manage the various, and they're numerous. You have cyber, you have credit, you have liquidity, name it, they're there. So they're in 2025, we understand the challenges that's facing financial institutions in investment holding companies such as ours. But I do believe that we have a fairly robust framework in place to manage those challenges.
Thank you, Rez. There you have it. We have a prudent risk management framework here in place at VM Investments. Our next comment is from Brittany. What are the recommendations for young persons who want to come in and invest?
Come in.
Where should they go?
Okay, no problem. No, but that's a great question. We are committed to. There's a group tagline about transforming lives. So our wealth management platform, we do understand the importance of persons from a very young age understanding investments. Not only saving, but investments, right? And so we offer a variety of products to take persons when they're ready to make investments along that journey. For example, we have our unit trust portfolio. So someone who wants to start off in equities, we have a portfolio which is managed by experts. We have a bond portfolio. We have a real estate portfolio. We actually have an international equity portfolio also. So persons can get on the investment ladder. When persons get a bit more sophisticated and might be more understanding of the market, then they can say, hey, I want to certainly buy bonds instead of it being in a portfolio, by international equities, by Jamaican equities. So we take them on that journey. And I want to make a plug, however, for international equities. As much as we live in the region, we are global citizens. And what we recognize is that there are markets doing much better than our regional markets. And we encourage our investors to take advantage of those opportunities. So, for example, the tech sector for the past 3 years have done amazingly well. If you have bought any of those tech companies, you'd have been, handsomely rewarded. So we encourage persons at VM Wealth Management Limited, you can trade international equities. So those names that you hear on CNBC and Jim Cramer talking about and your friends overseas talking about on Robinhood, you can trade those securities from the comfort of your home in Kingston. Okay? So thanks.
Thank you, Rez. Our next question is for Alison from Josimar from OUR Today. Does VMIL plan to capitalize on the investor risk profile platform for onboarding and cross-selling or upselling to clients?
Okay, thank you for that question. So that's an interesting question because just in thinking about my response to that question, the investor risk profiling platform is actually a driver of cross-selling and upselling, because what it does is that it helps you to allocate the funds that you have to invest across different asset classes. So what it will say is, well, you're a high risk, you're a low risk investor, and so inherent in every wealth management discussion is diversification. The recommendations that will come out of this platform will be for you to invest X dollars or X percentage of your available cash in this type of asset class, and Y dollars or Y percentage of your available cash in another asset class. So that drives cross-selling and upselling inherently. And so, yes, the intention is that as a client is being onboarded, the risk profiling platform will be integrated into the onboarding process, but it doesn't just stop there. We will have an ongoing monitoring of the client's risk appetite so that we can make adjustments to their portfolio as they continue to invest with us.
Thank you, Alison. Our next question is from the same individual. Is VM Investments still seeing a great demand for private equity investments from the MSME subsector? If yes, how does VMIL plan to take advantage?
Okay, thanks, Josimar. We're seeing fair demand, I wouldn't say great demand from the SME subsector for capital. We are in the space looking for well-run companies seeking to get to the next level. That is easier said than done to identify those opportunities. There's also, we've been humbled as we have engaged the subsector. So for example, when we started, there was a bit of brashness about us that, hey, we had capital to invest. What we found was that these principals wanted a bit more than just capital. They wanted support, they wanted market access, they wanted help with governance. They actually would have preferred some sort of hand-holding to help them to navigate the expansion opportunities that they're embarking on. So we have to kind of go back to the drawing board and say, hey, how do we support this space? I wouldn't say that we have a robust plan for support at this point in time, but something, as we build out our PE platform, we have to add those services. What I would say, though, is that there is still need for capital for these founders to scale their respective businesses. There is obviously some reluctance, some reticence on the part of some founders, but we understand that it's a process. And what I would say is that when the junior market just started years ago, it was a slow process to get persons excited. But as persons saw the benefits, more persons came on board. And we expect the same from the PE space. There are a number of players in this PE space in Kingston or in Jamaica, also across the region. And I think there is enough for us all to collaborate if we really want to go to the sector. And so the various ecosystems, we certainly are plugged into the same.
Excellent. Thank you, Rez. We'll take our final question from Kenneth on YouTube. I live in the USA, and I would like to get more information on the investment opportunities that you have. I haven't been there in a while, and I would like to know what steps do I take to start investing? Alison, do you want to take that one?
Sure, I'll take that. So, Kenneth, first of all, thank you for joining from overseas. We really appreciate your support and attention to this discussion. And because you have joined us and are participating so actively, what I'll say is send me an email, right? Allison.mais@myvmgroup.com. That's ALLISON.MAIS@myvmgroup.com, or the email address that I believe may be shown on your screen, wealthinfo@myvmgroup.com, and I will personally ensure that you are held through this process of onboarding. So we have the answers for you. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, we can onboard you and we'll take you through that process. So just send me an email and I'll guide you.
Excellent. And I'm sure Alison's email address will be available for Kenneth after. I'm being told that we have just a few more questions. And so if we could go to Eric on Zoom. Timely financial information is critical to investors in making decisions. What is VM Wealth doing to ensure timely submission of regulatory financial reports?
That's Mikhail's question. Okay, Mikhail.
I'll take that, Eric. Well, we have a very well-structured, well-run regulatory machine inside VM Investments Limited, and this is across our footprint in Jamaica as well as in Barbados. We have our teams are very highly skilled, and we use technology to help us stay on top of our regulatory reporting. We have regulatory reporting responsibilities to the Jamaica Stock Exchange, as well as the Financial Securities Commission and other entities. And so we're on top of our regulatory reporting. The information that you need to be confident to invest in VM Investments is available. It is on the JSC website. It is on our website. And if all else fails, you can walk right into our offices. I believe that answers it. Shanoy on Zoom. Given the recent performance of VMIL's stock, what specific strategic initiatives or measures does management have in place to help restore investor confidence and drive the stock price back to levels that better reflect the company's intrinsic value and growth potential? That's quite a mouthful, Shanoy. Alison, you'll take that one.
Okay, great question, Shanoy. Obviously, we've been having quite a number of conversations within the organization, even at the board level, regarding the movement in our stock price for 2025. There are two actions that we're taking. First of all, I've been in the markets for quite some time, understanding equity trading. Persons want to buy future growth. A person want to buy growth. Right? People want to buy performance. We understand that our financial performance for 2025 has been muted, and it doesn't reflect the true potential of the enterprise. We've had to pivot away from traditional asset management platforms, going to the more alternative platforms. And for the second half of the year, as I said before, the asset management team and the treasury team some exciting initiatives planned. Also, on the private equity platform, we do plan to execute a number of transactions that we believe those companies are growth companies to drive value to the enterprise. And then our real estate platform, which is Kingston Properties, again, we expect growth from there. So all in all, we're pushing on all fronts in terms of the respective platforms that we have, and also within the respective business units. And of course, we're keeping costs tight to ensure that that all flows to the bottom line. So a very challenging period. We understand the hit on our stock price, but we're not concerned about the stock price. What we have to do is focus on what's within our control, and we have to ensure that we drive the profitability of the enterprise, that we drive dividend distribution, we drive the dividend yield. That's what investors want from management at this point in time.
Excellent. Well put. Thank you, Rez. I believe we have one final question. This is coming from social media. You spoke about operations in Barbados. What types of services are offered in Barbados, and where can we find them? What types of services do we offer in Barbados?
Okay, so let me ask one of the directors of Barbados Funds, Miss Mays, to answer the question.
Okay, sure. And just acknowledging the chairman of the Barbados board, Brian Fraser, who is also in the room. So our Barbados business is a fund trust, a set of unit trust equivalent products. So what we offer in Jamaica is unit trusts. We have them as funds in Barbados. So we have about 3 funds in Barbados. Three funds in Barbados that are offered in the Barbados market. It's relatively new, the operations there. So what we're working on is our distribution strategy, which is ensuring that we can get the word out there about this new company. As you know, the company was purchased from Republic. So there is legacy there, but we have to build our own brand in Barbados. So we're working through other financial institutions in Barbados to expand the way how we distribute that product in the market. So The services are pretty much similar to what we offer here in Jamaica as unit trusts. So they're called funds. So they're mutual funds that we offer in Barbados. In terms of where you can find them, they actually have their own Instagram page, so you can find them on Instagram. But you can also access information about Barbados through the Jamaica office here in Kingston. So on our website, you will be able to find information about our Barbados business from its inception and the products that are offered there.
Thank you, Alison. And just to add, we've recently secured our investment advisor license from the Barbados Financial Services Commission. And so we'll be expanding our suite of products that will be in Barbados quite soon. With that, we will close the question and answer segment. Thank you all for your questions, your participation. We appreciate your feedback, and we look forward to these opportunities to meet with you. That brings us to the end of our investor briefing for 2025. On behalf of VM Investments Limited, we thank you for your time, we thank you for your confidence, and for your continued trust in VM Investments. Until our next update, please walk good.